guys, what is going on? Nick here with Gear Nut, and today we're gonna take and make a glow bead. So as you can see, I've got a couple already made over here, and they're curing. So just take and cut your little Slurpee straw. That's what I did. And you're gonna take some masking tape, and you're gonna seal the bottom of that Slurpee straw. Try to get it the best of your abilities. It's not perfect, it's alright, it's just kind of a little rough draft, you know. So what's nice about this, I guess if you really wanted to be creative, you could take and have a custom latex mold made for you, and you could do this. Just make sure that the epoxy you choose is compatible with that latex mold. So I just shoved that down into this little hole here I drilled, and I just took a drill bit that was bigger than the Slurpee straw, drilled into a piece of scrap wood. So we're going to be using some Gorilla Epoxy. So this stuff's going to have to cure overnight, but just dispense it as evenly as possible. Got a bunch of dust on my little piece of cardboard that I'm going to mix on. I think that's about all she wrote. I think this is going to be a little bead, guys. These other ones are going to be a little bigger. So there we go. And that is done. Done for. Set that off to the side. You might want to have a tissue or something too, but here's a stir stick. I'm just going to stir and mix this epoxy. The more air that you get into here, the more bubbles you're going to have in your bead. So stir efficiently without increasing the amount of air you're inputting into your epoxy. So I like to stir clockwise, come back and then stir counterclockwise, and that way I kind of swirl everything together, get it really nice and mixed, and mix that up a little bit. Now what you're gonna do is take some of this glow powder you ordered off of Amazon, and you're gonna dump that in here. I'm not sure on all these measurements, guys. I just kind of wing it. It's always turned out for me. I haven't ever made a bad glow bead. I've made ones that glow brighter than other ones. So I imagine if you put too much powder in there, it might not set up right. But I just kind of try to pat that down, get some epoxy on it. And I try to shoot for the color you guys are going to see here in a minute. I try to make all of my beads look kind of like this right here. So you guys are picking that up, tap off some of that stuff. But these are really nice little beads to put on bracelets. They're really nice on knives for lanyards, so if you do drop your knife, you do have a glow bead on it. It's a little easier to find. So now what you're going to do, once you got that evenly mixed, you're going to kind of scoop this up, twirl it around, and then bring it over here and tilt this. And try to make it so the air comes out one side and the epoxy goes in the other. And do it again. Just like so. And kind of add your epoxy to just that one side. That way you don't get a humongous air bubble inside of your bead. That's the only way that I've found to decrease your chances of that. But that's why I made so many of these, because sometimes they don't turn out due to air bubbles. It's not really the epoxy, it's the air bubbles. So if you guys mix this and it is too thick of a pour, it won't set up. So make sure you're not trying to make too big of beads. You know, this Slurpee straw seems to be a really nice size, but if you make them too long, the center's always gooey. It never sets up. So looks like we did about right in gauging how much epoxy we need. If you have any extra epoxy, you can either leave it, or you can take and fill one of these other little holes in your little scrap wood. Doesn't really matter. And you can come back and probably cut this out with a knife or something later. I don't know if I got enough to even fill that hole, but yeah. But that's how you take and make glow beads. So I'm going to let these sit up overnight, and we'll come back the next day and I'll try to pull these out, and hopefully they've set up. But I'll just take and run a knife blade down the sides of them, and I'll take and just peel it right off. That's the nice thing about these Slurpee straws. They don't seem to adhere to the epoxy glow mixture. So, but then after that, all you have to do is drill a hole down the center, and that's it. And you have yourself a glow bead. So really simple, really fun, and they are very, very bright. So once again, here is the glow powder right here. Just a little 1/4 of an ounce. It makes a lot of glow beads. So just watch your size on the tubes you cut. You know, this is one straw, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 beads of different sizes and lengths. So we'll come back and we'll see how they turned out. So stay tuned. Alright guys, so we let these cure overnight. I already opened up a couple of them, and let me show you. This is what we're making right here. So that's a piece of paracord, and there's your glow bead. So all you got to do is take a box cutter, aka box cutter, and let me show you pulling these out. You're going to peel your tape off. There we go. And stick your safety glasses on. And take your box cutter. You're going to do a light cut through the straw. And now, just peel it off. That's what's nice about these Slurpee straws. They don't adhere to that Gorilla Epoxy. So this is what you're left with. And give it a nice little squeeze. Make sure it's nice and firm. So this one's got kind of a cone or a curve on the inside. If you don't want that, just take some sandpaper or take it to like a scroll saw or a band saw, or just rub it on the concrete or something, and just take that cone out of there. It's kind of hard for me to show you. So, but the next step is going to be drilling your hole out. So there's 2 ways to do that. You can use a hand drill or you can use a drill press. I'm going to use a drill press, but I'm probably going to cut these on the bandsaw, and because when they're this long, it's hard to keep that drill bit going straight for a long distance. So usually I'll try to cut them in half. It just makes them turn out a little better. You have less of a failure rate, but you are left with some smaller beads. So let me cut the rest of these open, and we'll get this show on the road. Alright guys, so safety glasses. We're over here at the drill press, and I'm going to start with a 5/32 inch drill. Let's put this in, tighten that up. There we go. And I'm going to try to do this without my assistant on my light. Let's turn that on over here. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to lower the table for this drill press vise. Give me a little room. Tighten that down. Go. Now we're going to start with probably this littlest one. We'll just do that. What we're going to do is we're going to try to get this as straight up and down as possible in the vise, the drill press vise. You know, doesn't have to be perfect unless you're a perfectionist. And we're going to turn this on, and we're going to drill our first hole. So just try to line this up as best you can, you know, and just go slow and see what happens. So So, there we go. Now you can just clean that hole out a little bit with another drill. Let's take one out of your set, put it in here, give it a little twist and pull, and it'll clean that hole out. So, and that's how you make paracord glow beads. So, and you can clean these up and shape them into whatever shape you want. If you guys have any other questions or comments, leave them in the description box below, or the comment section below, and I'll check it out. So that's what I got. I hope you enjoyed the video, and just, you know, be safe if you're making these. Power tools are a lot of fun, but they're also dangerous. I'll check you later. So this is what we're after, guys, and you're probably saying, hey Nick, what does 3000 lumens from the G20 do to those glow beads? Well, I'm gonna shut my eyes. Hopefully I illuminate a bunch of these, because it is ridiculous. So, I mean, like, I can see red. Oh man, them suckers are glowing. So, and that is what the G20 does. 3000 lumens to the glow beads that we just made. So, hope you enjoyed the video. Go out and make some fun glow beads. Later, guys.